going on, everyone? It's King Tuts Pro. Welcome back to another Final Cut Pro 10 tutorial. In today's video, I'm going to show you a really cool effect that you guys can apply to any music video or any type of video for that matter and create a really cool lighting effect just like this one here. And you probably saw it in the beginning of this video, and the original effect actually comes from Polo G's Gang Gang featuring Lil Wayne. Amazing effect, and I do of course want to show you how to create a similar effect to that one, and I'll have both of the music videos that we're going to be using today in the description of this video, along with the really cool plugin from PixelFilmStudios. I want to give a special thanks to PixelFilmStudios for sponsoring today's video. Also, don't forget to check them out on YouTube, where they provide their own comprehensive Final Cut Pro 10 tutorials covering a variety of topics. You can visit their YouTube playlist, which I will link down below. If you guys decide on purchasing this really cool plugin, please use my coupon code KingPixelPro at checkout, and the only thing I ask in return is a like and for you guys to subscribe. That'd be awesome. And also, don't forget to turn on the bell notification. So let's jump right into it. Also, I do want to mention quickly that PixelFilmStudios has updated the ProPuppet plugin for Final Cut Pro 10. So if you guys are using that, it is now M1 compatible, which is amazing. I'll have the original video that I made a while back in the description of this video as well, in case you guys are interested or you want to learn more about it. Check out the description. All right, so in order to find the plugin, you're going to go into the project window over here, so you can go and access it over here, and then you're gonna go under the titles and generators right here and go into titles, and if you go down, you're gonna see the PixelFilmStudios Final Cut Pro 10 Electric 1.1, and that's the plugin we're going to be using in today's video. So here we have different categories. So we have 3D and then we have trackable. So 3D are the ones that are in 3D. So you can actually rotate this and get it exactly the way you want it to look from all types of angles, which is really cool. And then we have trackable ones. So we have ball of lightning. So you can track this. So if I drag it above our media, move it to where you think you're going to begin this effect and where you want it to end. So I'm going to go about here and press B. Command B, and I'm going to delete the rest. So this is about almost a second long. So once you go in the parameters, you're going to see that we have the track controls, we have transform, lightning, and light source, as well as glint controls. So all these of course control the lightning and other elements within this plugin. So if we go under the track mode, this will turn the lighting off, and this is very important that you have this checked when you're actually tracking your video. So if you don't have this checked, it's just going to get in the way and it can mess up the tracking. So just make sure that this is enabled. And then you're going to go and click on Track Editor, and this will bring up a new window. It should show you the canvas instructions like this, just showing you what to do and what to use. So I'm going to have this unchecked so it gets out of the way. And I'm going to move the playhead at the beginning, and I'm going to move this box over to an area like over here. I'm going to go back to the Track Assist filter, and what this does, it pretty much increases the contrast between light and dark, so you can know where to place this box or circle if you change this to an oval or round shape. This will allow you to control the size, and the red will allow you to change pretty much the search size. Then we have track quality. So if you bring this all the way to 100%, the track quality will be a lot smoother, but it will take a little bit longer. And if you drag it over to the left, it will go a lot quicker, but the quality won't look as good in terms of tracking. What I'm going to do is we have the stop, track backwards, and track forward. What I want to do is I want to track forward, making sure that the playhead is at the beginning, and I'm going to hit forward to track forward, and it's tracking that line there. And whenever I'm ready, I'm going to hit stop. Now, if you want to delete certain keyframes, hold shift and highlight them. Then right click on those keyframes and hit remove keyframes, and only the ones that are visible on this timeline will be keyframed. The rest is not going to be keyframed, so we will have to of course split that in the timeline. So when you're ready, click export data. This will then save it to your timeline like this. You probably won't see anything because we have to make sure the track mode is unchecked, so uncheck that. And now you're going to see it's tracked here. So now this of course only tracks it to that specific point that we tracked it to, so the rest won't be tracked. So we're going to cut it down to about here maybe. If I push play, you're going to see it's being tracked like that. You can change the size of this. You can change the intensity. We have glint controls here. You can change the tint color to like red or pink. And then we have helix. Again, this is another different one. It's like a single one. And then we have lightning bolt, which is like 2 points. Say I go to this one just to show you really quickly. These are going to be 3D. So you have a little bit less controls, but if you go here, you're going to have on-screen controls. So if you click and hold on your mouse or trackpad, and you click and hold, you can actually change the position of this. And then if you let go and you select another one, you can rotate this. So I'm still holding down the button as I'm moving it. So you can get a really cool 3D effects. This one will allow you to control the scale. So you can make this really big. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drag this one over here. And I want to make this relatively short. I want it to last about 4 frames. So I'm going to delete that. I'm going to select the lightning, move it to the beginning, go to track mode, make sure that's enabled. And we're going to go to start point. So we're going to hit track editor. So we'll open up a new window, move the box to somewhere over here somewhere, hit the track forward button. And this will track it for those, for that 4 frames or however many we had here within this length. So I think that looks good. We're going to hit export data and we're going to go down and we're going to see the end point. We're going to hit track editor. Again, new window will appear and then we're going to move this one to somewhere else. I prefer to move this down to maybe here on that Ferrari logo. So I'm going to bring this down towards the center. I'm going to hit track forward, export data. And now if we enable or uncheck the track mode, you're going to see that those 2 points are being tracked. Super cool. So if I push play, it'll look like that. Now that we have that though, we can make multiple lightning effects. So if we go into lightning controls, we have lightning seed. Again, this will make it random. Jitter, this will make it more jittery. I'm going to increase the scale quite a bit. You can move this up a lot if you want. I personally like a big lightning, so maybe here. Since you do increase the scale, you are increasing where the points are. So what you can do is go to the track point 1. You're going to see offset position. So the cool thing about this plugin is the ability to customize and move these points wherever you want on the canvas. So if I move the x-axis, this will move it left and right, as you can see. So I'm going to start it from the left, and then the y-axis, we're going to bring that point down. So you can see now it's moving this up and down, and we're going to move this over to the right. And this will of course change the way the lightning looks. So we're going to move this off screen like that. And size, that looks pretty good. We can increase this. And I'm going to change the color of the tint to match the color palette of this video. So we can go like a deep purple or a pink, or you can hit this eyedropper tool and kind of match it to the video, which is really cool. So now it looks a little bit more realistic. Now we're going to go under the lightning controls, bolt color. Again, you can change the color of the lightning bolt. So we're just going to leave that on how it is. You can change the overall bolt thickness. So we can make it really thin or really thick. Core taper amount. So we can move this within that axis point. So you can see we can have more of it go down towards the bottom or towards the top. I think it looks more realistic towards the top. We can of course animate this, so we can animate it like that. I'm going to animate it starting at 0 and go about halfway, and I'm going to increase this to 1. So if we go back, it'll look like this. So it can kind of fade off if you want like that. And then we can go into branch controls. And if we have snap to destination, you have more of the branch, which are these lightning bolts, extra lightning bolts. It's really cool. So we can increase the arcs. We can have a lot of them. We can increase the number of branches. All right, I think we're good there. I think we have the main lightning bolt that we can replicate and duplicate. So now that we have all of our settings, how we want it to look like, and we go back and push play, it'll look something like this. So now that we have that, we can make multiple ones. We don't have to do the tracking all over again if you don't want to. You can if you want, but all I'm going to do is hold Option and drag this over to the right. And I'm going to skip a couple frames. I'm going to select the preset, and I'm going to go into the settings here and change the offset position X and Y. So for the X, we're going to move this over, and we're going to move this down a little bit. And then the end point, which is this bottom piece, I don't want it in the same location. I kind of want to make this a lot more random. So I'm going to go something like this here. If we go back and push play, you have kind of something that looks like this. I'm going to do this one more time, and I'm going to overlap this one. And what I want to do from this point is go horizontal this time and go to the start point. I'm going to move this to the left. Y, I'm going to move this down to the bottom left, and then end point, we're going to move the x-axis over to the left. We're going to go back and make this smaller. So we're going to decrease the scale. 200% looks good, maybe a little bit more. And then we're going to go back to the start point and readjust these points. We can stretch this out a little bit. So now if I go back and push play, it'll kind of overlay like that, and we can do it again. So Command C, Command V. So now it looks like that. We're going to select the third one. Start point, I'm going to move this all the way to the right side, as you see here. So now if I go back and push play, if you want to create that shakiness effect, move the plate at the beginning. I'm going to go to the transform tool, add a keyframe, go 1 frame over to the right and increase its size. So something like this, and you want it a little bit noticeable as well. Kind of move it off center, then go 1 frame to the right, and then move it the other way. And then this one on the last frame, we're gonna just type in 100 for the scale all, 0 on X, and 0 for Y. Click done. So now when we go back and push play, it looks like it's being shaken, which is super cool. What I want to do is between this alley, I want to add some lightning. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the first one here. I'm going to press Command C. I'm going to go back around this point. I'm going to press Command V, and then you're going to reset the start point. So delete those keyframes and delete the ones for the end point. So now we're going to have the track mode enabled. Go back to start point and go to track editor. So from here, make sure the playhead is at the beginning. I might track this piece here just for the sake of the video, and I'm going to hit track forward. I'm going to hit export data. I'm going to go down to the end point and bring up the track editor for that one. From here, I'm going to move this point down onto this kind of puddle of water and track forward, hit export data. If we uncheck the track mode, you're going to see it's being tracked now. Of course, we'd have to reset the scale so you can see what's happening. So between these 2 points, it's actually being tracked. As you can see, I'm going to increase the scale. X-axis, we're going to start over here. We're going to bring the Y-axis up. If we kind of push play, it'll look like this. So we're going to change the tint, and we're going to go for kind of like a really cool lightning blue effect. I think this looks super cool. Since there's like I don't know what this is, like a power or telephone line, what we're going to do is actually move the start position on top of that. So it kind of makes a little bit more sense. So I'm going to move this over to the right. So now if we push play, it looks kind of like this. Super cool. So now if I push play, it's going to be tracked, as you can see, and it looks so cool. So if I push play, you can do something like this. We have helix. So if we drag this one over and we kind of cut the effect here, make this one a lot shorter as well. We're going to go down to track editor. We're going to select another point. So we're going to go and select this one maybe. Track forward, export that data, and we're going to go to endpoint. Now you're going to start seeing this kind of being tracked, which looks really cool. So make sure track mode is enabled. Go to the endpoint, and we're going to do this one over here and track forward, hit export data. And then now if we uncheck this, you're going to see now we created a really cool helix. So it looks a lot different than this one. As you can see, it's a little bit more kind of bunched up. So now if I go back and push play, you can create some really crazy effects like this. Again, you can create that shakiness effect. So maybe right here, we can do the same thing. Go to transform, add a keyframe, 1 frame over to the right, increase this a little bit like that. You want to move this off center. You kind of want to just move this back and forth, almost like a zigzag. And then the last frame, we're going to go to position 0, 0, 100. And now if we go back and push play, you have this super cool zigzag shake effect. Add the directional blur. And now when we go back to push play, you have this super realistic lightning effect, almost like a thunder as well. So if you guys found this video helpful whatsoever, for your next project, show me what you guys create with this super cool plugin if you do decide on purchasing it. And if you do decide on getting it, please use my coupon code KingPixelPro. Only thing I ask is for a like just by hitting the subscribe button as well. That would be awesome. So I'll catch you on my next video.